Alright guys, so what we're going to do here today is we're going to do some backwards calculation using our formula for the volume of a cylinder. So if you have your yellow sheet that you can use to reference, remember it was this one right here, the right cylinder, or you can use your notes as well if you need to pull those out. But this is something that you'll be using on the K-Prep test. So just to kind of refresh your memory again, remember pi is always going to be used as 3.14. We're going to round it out to that. The R stands for radius, and the H stands for our height. Those are the pieces that we need to know to be able to find a volume of a cylinder, or how much stuff can a cylinder hold. So we're going to use this, and we're going to work backwards. What we mean by this is we're going to give us the volume, and we're going to need to find either the radius or the height using this, using our formula here. And we can work backwards using solving equations. Remember, this is all multiplication, so we're going to be doing a lot of dividing. And we're just going to plug in what we know, write our equation out, be able to solve for our answer there. So I'm going to do two examples with you. You should have this sheet here in front of you, and I'm going to do problem number 1 with you. We're going to, and then I'm going to be doing problem number 5. Okay. So here we go. So if we just look at the first one here, at problem number 1, it says we are looking for the height of a cylinder that has a volume of 30 inches cubed, and it has a radius of 1. So if you wanted to take a look at it, it kind of will look like this. Here is your shape if you wanted to draw it out. You have a radius here of 1 inch. The height we don't know, and we know that the volume is going to be 30 inches cubed. So that means we can put 30 cubic inches inside this radius, or this can that we have here. So let's write down, so basically what we do is we just start by writing out the equation. So volume is going to equal pi times the radius squared times the height. And we fill in what we know. We know that volume is 30, so it goes under the V. Pi, we're going to use 3.14. That has always been given to us. The radius is 1, and we're going to square it. And the height we don't know. So now we can be able to solve this problem, and now that we have it set up, we can now be able to solve this problem and do what we need to do. So the first thing what I'm going to do here is I'm going to square 1. I'm going to do what 1 squared is. And what 1 squared is, remember, is 1 times 1. So 1 squared is equal to 1 times 1, which is 1. So now I know that I can rewrite this down as 30 is going to equal 3.14 times 1 times my height. Now I need to do the rest of my stuff, what I need to do. I can combine these two together because these are like terms. So let's combine those together by multiplying. And when I multiply 3.14 by 1, I'm going to get 3.14 again. So when I combine these two together and multiply, I get 3.14. So now I have this. I have 30 is equal to 3.14 times H. Now this just turns into a one-step problem. I have 3.14 times the H, or my height, which I'm trying to solve for, is equal to 30. Remember what I need to do here? I need to combine my terms again by getting everything away from the H. So I do the opposite of times. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3.14. And when I divide both sides by 3.14, these cancel out. And I can now type this into my calculator. 30 divided by 3.14. 30 divided by 3.14. And I end up finding my answer to be 9.554. And I'm going to round that up to 9.555. So my answer here then, when I solve that, is my height is now 9.55, and I need to know what type of unit. We're using inches. So this would be my solution for this one. So it is very simple. Just like that, how I solve that. As it will go, just plugging them in, solving for what I need to know, doing any type of math by combining like terms, taking care of my squares, following those, and solving my problem. So I can find my height is 9.55 inches. Okay, my second example here is a little bit different. This one's asking us to find the radius of a cylinder, which has a volume of 950 inches cubed, and it has a height of 10 inches. What would be my radius? So basically what I have here is my picture. If I need to draw it out again, there's my cylinder. The radius here is, I don't know what my radius is. My height is 10 inches, so it's 10 inches tall or 10 inches long, and it has a volume of 950 cubic inches. So I can be able to solve this question by just plugging in what I know and taking care of using my math to be able to solve with the radius. So I'm going to write down my equation. Volume equals pi times r squared times h. Fill in what I know. The volume I know is given to me at 950. Pi is always going to be 3.14. The radius, I'm not sure what it is because that's what I'm trying to find. So what I'm going to put here is just I'm going to leave it as r squared. The height is going to be 10. So I've replaced pi with 3.14. The r squared, I don't know what that is, so I leave as r squared. The h, which is my height, is given to me as 10. So now I'm good. The next thing what I need to do is clean this part up by combining my terms together. I have 3.14 and 10. I can combine together by multiplying, because remember this is all times. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 10. And when I do 3.14 times 10, I'm going to end up getting 31.4. So I have now, this is now my equation. So there it is. Now if you need to see where the 31.4 came from, it's 3.14 times 10 gives me 31.4. That's where that's come in, right there. Okay, now that I have this written out here, I have one less step I need to do. I need to get rid of the 31.4 from the r squared, because remember it's multiplying. This is basically a one-step equation. So what I need to do now is just to divide. So what I'm going to do is divide both sides by 31.4. And when I do that, those 31.4 goes away, and I can be able to find out what r squared is equal. So when I do that, I can put on my calculator here, 950 divided by 31.4. Oops. Let's try again. 950 divided by 31.4. And I get 30.25. 30.25. Now, I'm not done yet, because remember, I want to know what r is, and this is r squared. So what I need to do is I need to figure out what is r times r would equal 30.25. What could r be that would multiply by its same number and give me 30.25? I want to know what that can be. So you instead of just trying to guess and guess and guess what it is, you do what you take is the square root. So what I need to do here is take the square root of 30.25. So I'm going to take the square root here, the final step of 30.25. And when I take the square root of it, and here's how you put it into your calculator again, we hit second x squared and then type in 30.25. And when I do that, I get 5.5. And that will be my solution, or my radius, and that is in inches. So my last step there I needed to do is take my square root, and I get 5.5 right there. Okay? So your job here is to complete the rest of these pages and make sure that you have those completed. When you get done, then you can turn this in to Mr. O. He'll have it. Please show all your work. You can use another sheet of paper if you need to. Then when you finish showing your work, you need to work on your IXL T9. You should already be at 80%, and you need to work to see if you can get it up to about a 90% on that case. Those should be exactly like we're doing here. So you will need to use paper and pencil for that in your yellow sheet. Thank you much.